How you doing?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay today. It's been a really productive end of a very hard year, you
Right.
know.
You've been working
So,
hard.
I have been. Wait. Um, sorry. I want to make sure a dog wasn't going to come running in.
I've
Yeah.
got I've got dog too, so don't worry about
All right. Cool. Cool. You got dogs everywhere. Um,
it.
yeah, I think when you get when your tendency is to kind of cut and run or hide or stick your head in the sand, you can either do that or you can double down, So
Right.
it's been, I know that people know about Alicia's go do philosophy, and I think it's fair to say that I have gone and did.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna tell you I was so sorry to hear, and we've been praying for you.
I greatly appreciate that.
You don't when you go through something like that, you know how much you're loved and how many people think of you, and the outpouring. I hope you felt that.
I did, and I do, and it helps tremendously. Um, Otherwise, I mean, it's just devastating.
Right.
There's no there's nothing in my life that prepared me for that. I don't think
Right.
there's anything in anybody's life that can prepare them for that. So, like I said, you got a choice. What are you?
Right.
You're the dog or the tail, right?
Well,
And
y-
I've occasionally forgotten and become part of the tail, but most of the time I go right back to being the dog. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah. Well,
God didn't
years ago,
God didn't
what
put
you
us here to take up space. God put us here because He's up to something and we're part of it. And
yeah.
he'll turn our mess into miracles. Ooh, I like that. He'll turn our mess into miracles every time.
Yeah. And I like they say he turns our test into a testimony too.
Test into a testimony. Yep. Our pain
Yeah.
into our platform.
Yeah.
And that's certainly what's happened here. Because I didn't want to be the speaker on grief.
Right.
No, my God, who would want that?
Yeah.
But as I jog every morning and I pray every morning and I tell God, I say, look, you left me here. It's one of the songs on the new record. Why did you leave me here? So you left me here for a reason. Let me know what it is and I'll do it. I don't care what it is. I'll do it, but let me know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not a water treader. I like to get moving.
Right.
And
Right.
and I'm told that my Facebook posts are doing that. My letters to heaven are, that might very well be my ministry. I don't know. Got to
Yeah.
get through this first year,
Right.
the year of firsts, and being in December is tough. It's a tough one, but it will soon be January and it will soon be February, and before we know it, we'll be looking back on 2024, going, where did that go?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
After my mom passed, somebody gave me advice around the holidays, and they basically said, don't feel the pressure to do everything that you used to do. And
yeah,
so we actually just left town. We did something completely different. We went to Phoenix with my wife's family last minute just because of the memories and stuff like that,
right.
just like whatever we needed to do to kind of divert our attention just that first time where it's so raw and real.
Yeah.
They'll still
It's
be
not
in the future, but yeah.
Yeah, and you're not doing this. I think something people stumble over, myself included. You're not doing any disservice to your loved one by
No.
distracting yourself by getting busy. Uh, I mean, there's just there's no handbook. There's
Right.
just so
Yeah.
whatever you think you need to do
To get
uh,
through it.
to
Yeah.
get through it, do it. And a lot of times people say, well, whatever you need to do. I say, look, that's the problem. I don't know what I need to do.
Right. Yeah.
I need to want to be here. There, let's start with that. I just need to want to be here. I need to
Right.
want to do something. Because my whole life I've been, going, doing everything. And Alicia, same way. We are chronic overachievers.
Yeah.
Two of us, same household, two of us in the same car.
Right.
It's why we called ourselves the team to beat.
Yeah.
So now we have a book. Alicia wrote a book that she's about 90% finished, and I finished it for her, called In the Driver's Seat, which is a book that'll help people who've been diagnosed. It'll help the loved ones of people who've been diagnosed. It'll help you figure it out. It'll help you fight it. It'll help you win, and it'll help you heal if you're the remaining, just in case you don't win that battle.
Right.
So I think it's a bunch of people have read it and they said, "My God, I wish I'd read this before." You know, because there's special insight in it because Alicia wrote 90 out of every 100 words in it. And so
Yeah.
she was writing from an experience that nobody really wants to. It's kind of like my experience now. I don't want to have an intimate understanding of grief,
Right.
but I do. So what am I going to do with it? Am I going to hide it? Am I going to put what is the scripture? Am I going to put my light under the bed, or am I going to put it out for everybody to see? Am I going to go out there and risk making a fool of myself just to in an effort to help other people get through it?
Right. Yeah.
Um, and the new movie does that. The new movie's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you about the book real quick. When you said
Oh,
that,
please.
when does it come out?
It's out now. The book is out now. You
Okay.
can only
Because
get it JohnSchneiderstudios.com. You can get it there. You can order it through Amazon as well. It's funny. If you order it through Amazon, you'll probably get it today. If
yeah.
you order it through us, it'll take a little while. But not that I don't appreciate Amazon, but I'd rather you order it through JohnSchneiderstudios.com. Same thing
Okay.
with music. The music is We're Still Us, brand new album, dedicated every single word. Again, it's the best music I've ever done. I wrote on every song on it, with the exception of the Irving Berlin song. Did not write that, but it's each song it will help you. It will help you if you are hurting, because there is strength in someone else expressing how you feel.
Right.
There's uh, there's strength, tremendous strength in someone else's tear on your cheek.
Right.
So this album is it's great. It's going to hurt, but it is going to help you heal at the same time, and it's helping me heal at the same time. So that's the book in the driver's seat. The new music is We're Still Us. And then there's the new movie, which is Jingle Smells, which
Yeah.
is one thing I needed to do this year that I didn't do a whole lot of is laugh.
Right. Right.
And Jingle Smells will help you laugh. I promise. It has a wonderful message too. It's not only is it fun and family and Christmas and ho 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 and all that, but it also is a wonderfully crafted story that pokes a finger in the eye of cancel culture.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jay Sekulow and his excuse me, and his son Logan, along with Sean Hannity, produced it. So it's a very cleverly disguised poke in the woke eye. I like
Right.
that. Poke in the
Yeah.
woke eye.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, it's funny. I've been watching it, and you do a great job, and it's there's a lot of clever things to it. It's well done. Good
Yeah,
little satire on culture there.
it is. Yeah, it's very well. Jay is so smart. So and Logan is too, and Sean, of course, is too. But It's great. It's one of those movies that mainstream never would have made because they won't poke themselves in their own woke eye. That's
Right.
why God made us independent. You know, He made us
Yeah.
independent thinkers. He made us entrepreneurs. He made us to go out there and shake it up and tell our truth and His truth to an otherwise truth-free world.
Yeah.
So that,
Has have your ideology kind of always been pretty consistent? Because I just wonder, you've had such a long career. Have you engaged? Have you had arguments backstage or misunderstandings or something through the years? I mean, you've been in everything, and you're
yeah, people don't really tangle with me all that much. You know, they don't wonder where I stand. You know,
right.
so they know if they have an opposing opinion, if they're going to bring it up, then we're gonna have a debate, not an argument. We're going to have a debate. There's the one thing about me that I think could sum up how I've always um, felt uh, is that I'm fair.
Right.
And I believe I'll die for what I believe in, absolutely, but I won't require that you die for what I believe in. Why would I do that? That's not
Yeah.
fair. Um, Ultimately, John Schneider is fair, kind of like Jonathan Kent, fair.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's fair by the only definition of fair that I have is my definition. So, and I think it's a pretty good one. But if we reach an impasse and we have to land on your side or my side, um, you better be fair.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Because I'll debate that. I'll say, well, why is this fair? Why? No, 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 no. What? So that hasn't changed with me. And I love this country. I always have. So love of country, which I guess makes me a nationalist, is I love my nation. It's always been ingrained in me. I'm 63 years old. Love of God and country was something that was we were very proud of in the 60s. Uh, those of us who can remember the 60s, what do they say? If you remember the 60s, you weren't there. Well, if you were 20 in the 60s, I agree with that. But if you were, I was only, from 0 to 10.
Right.
But yeah, that my fierce love of country has never changed. I can remember the first time I went out of the country. I was so glad to get back. I enjoyed wherever it was I went.
Right.
Um, I did feel a really terrific feeling when I put my feet back on American soil.
Yeah.
I've always been that way. It isn't something I learned. It wasn't something that I was taught. I don't know if it was the movies I grew up watching or what, but we said the Pledge of Allegiance at school. We had a moment of prayer. We sang the national anthem with
Yeah.
honor and pride. And I think we're going to get back to that. We've got a couple of more bumps in the road that we need to get over, but we'll get back to that, and we'll have a new generation of patriots will come up. I do
Right.
believe that. It's up to us. It's not going to happen while we're sitting on a couch watching football. I mean, we have to create an environment where patriotism is appealing again. For
Yeah.
me, there's no other choice. It's not like, I could choose from being a patriot or what? A
Right.
traitor? No, I'm never going to make that choice. We have enough people in power right now that have made that choice already. Uh, that ultimately the most fair of all is God. So
Yeah.
God will deal with this in a very fair way, in a very strong way. And I think quite a few people who skew less fair they're not going to like it. They're not going to
Right.
like it very much at all. But
Yeah.
you can't avoid the judgment of it's coming no matter what you believe, it's coming.
Yeah.
None of us are getting out of here alive. And the only thing we can take with us is love. So let's figure it out. Let's figure out What did Jesus say? Love one another, even as I have loved you. Love one another.
Right.
So once we figure that out, and once we put that into some form of practical application every day, then the world will be a better place.
Yeah.
Again, because of the United States of America, not in spite of it.
Right. Yeah.
Breaks my heart that we are not a beacon on the road for other people to follow our example anymore.
Right.
But we will be. We will be. Right now we're experiencing it's not growing pains. It's kind of like devolving pains.
Right. Yeah.
Sure, not sure, but we were caught sleeping, but we're not sleeping anymore.
Right. Right.
Especially not if you're wearing a Santa hat.
That's right. That's right. Well, you mentioned Jonathan Kent. You were great on that show. You were one of the best, probably the best Jonathan Kent, I think. And
Thank you.
I sure hated to see you go, when that happened. Anyone who
Yeah.
is familiar with Superman knows that Jonathan Kent is not he is not around forever. But as long as you were on there, I thought you were just a good voice of reason, steady hand, and you've been in the culture so long that just even to hear your voice is like a friend. When I was watching this
Well,
this
thank you.
this Jingle Smells, and you come on, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a level of familiarity.
Oh, I
So I
love that.
think,
Well, thank you. That's a great compliment.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, and
uh,
I show up right away. The movie is so funny. I remember when Logan Sekulow said, "Hey, we're doing a movie." He said, "We'd love to have you in it." I said, "Okay." And he said, "I'll send it to you to read." I said, "I'll read it, but you don't need to send it to me. You're friends, and happy to do it." But for folks who don't know, I play a sheriff. My son is well on in years, still lives at home, a bit of a delinquent, a little lazy and unfocused.
right.
So, in a very Jonathan Kent manner, I give him an opportunity to assimilate into the workforce. Basically, I get him a job as a garbage man, and
Yeah.
he he finds a bunch of canceled toys. And excuse me, having been a canceled toy myself, having been a canceled action figure, um,
Yeah.
I understood the plight of this character, Mason Stone, and who is a wrestler who dared to espouse conservative views in public. So he's like, okay, no, that's it. He's out of here. But my son finds these toys and gives the toys to children at Children's Hospital, which is a wonderful tie-in because I'm one of the founders of Children's Miracle Network.
Right.
Uh, and because it's at the end of the day, he's a garbage man. He kind of smells. So the kids start calling him Jingle Smells, Jingle Smells, stinking all the way. So it it really is adorable, but
Yeah.
it in a very clever way it pokes a finger in the eye of the whole woke notion of having the right to cancel someone because they disagree.
Right.
That's completely ignoring our First Amendment rights, and we talk about that in this fun movie. We don't beat you over the head with it, but we talk about it in a clever enough way that if you watch this, mom and dad, you watch this with your kids, it'll be kind of like Smallville, where you can have a honest conversation about, what would Jonathan Kent say to that? What do you think about canceling these toys, throwing these toys away? Who
Yeah.
do you help your children or talk to your children, watch Jingle Smells, and ask them to identify the bad guy, and then say, well, why do you think they were the bad guy?
Mhm.
Um, so if you are willing to engage in conversation, I've always enjoyed that. Then watch Jingle Smells with your kids and or your grandkids or both, and then get into a real conversation about it. I think it's important. And it's fun.
Yeah.
If you don't want to get into a conversation, that's all right. But
Just
it's a
have
lot of
fun.
fun. The movie is a lot of fun. And it'll
Right.
give you
Yeah.
a lot to think about. It really
Yeah.
will. And I'm a
Well,
little Jonathan Kent in there. There's a little Jonathan Kent in my my character. He may be a little funnier. I think yeah,
Right.
what did he say? Some accessories required or something. I said, am I smiling? He said, no. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot. So we've got Jingle Smells, we've got In the Driver's Seat, we've got We're Still Us. All of those are available at johnschneiderstudios.com. Or if you want to watch Jingle Smells right now, you can go to jinglesmells.movie and stream it. So
Yeah.
there you go. We've eliminated the excuses. But if you want an autographed copy, that's what you have to go through John Schneider Studios for. So you
Oh,
can get it
cool.
plain autographed or autographed and personalized. They're each a little bit more expensive, but it's more time consuming. I mean, I have to be here to put your name on it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I've been running all around, uh, like my grandmother would say, like a chicken with my head cut off.
Right. Hardest working man in show business. They used to call
Well,
James Brown, you know.
that's right. That's right. But you know, it's there's a certain amount of self-preservation in how hard I'm working this year. You know, I don't think I'm going to work that quite that hard next year.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
this one has been tough, but I've
Yeah.
had very dear friends helping me through it. I've found great strength in helping others through it.
Yeah.
And that's a God idea because I would not have come up with that myself.
Yeah.
So it was God that said to me, because it's so beautiful. I don't write this way. It was God that said to me, there's nothing more healing than someone else's tear rolling down your cheek.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of tears roll down my cheek this year, many of them mine.
Yeah.
But tears are healing, and we all know where they are. We all know where our lost loved ones are. They're not lost. We know exactly where they are.
Right. Yeah.
And we will indeed see them again.
Yeah.
And on that glorious day, it will seem like no time has passed.
Right.
Kind of like looking back. When I look back, I can remember the first day of Smallville. That was 2001. I can remember the first day of Dukes of Hazzard. That was 1978. I can remember high school and elementary school. I can remember my first day of kindergarten. And when I think back on it, I don't think, oh my gosh, that was 60 years ago, or that was 58 years, that was 40 years ago. No, it was a second ago.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to feel when we get there.
I
So
was uh I was 7 sitting around my TV watching. I watched Dukes every week. That was
I love it.
you guys were my superheroes.
So you saw it on Friday nights.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's
We
great.
watched that. And you know, I was 7, but we watched Dallas. I watch everything my parents watched, you know.
Of course.
Nowadays, parents watch what their kids want to watch, but back in my day, we watched what the parents wanted to watch, and we watched
Exactly.
Dukes every
And it was
week. Yeah.
great stuff. Dukes was great. The Hulk was great.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not so sure about the lessons you learned from Dallas, but that
I remember us all
may be why
guessing.
we've got this mess in politics right
That's
now.
right.
People
I
watch
watched
too much Dallas.
all the classic sitcoms, everything. Yeah. Uh yeah, so well, I
It was a great
appreciate
time.
yeah, it was. I appreciate talking to you.
Sure thing. Merry Christmas, everybody.